Fair enough. Have it your way.
My name is Ronan. I was writer, director and stunt performer on IVO of Belhaven. This short film is pretty much a fight scene surrounded by some reason, some acting and a little bit of story, purely made to show our skills as coordinators, as choreographers, as stunt performers and behind the camera as well. On the night we started off by dressing the set. Obviously it is a modern day location, it is a working livery and horse yard. So we started to dress all the modern day things out of it, find ways of covering various bits of modern technology.
You trust me?
Yeah.
You trust me?
You trust me? Trust me?
No.
I do lifting, but I don't do
I know what you mean.
shit. To
be fair,
I'm 50-50.
Did you see his forearms?
Listen, he thinks he's like obviously using something.
Once that was done, everyone got in costume a little early. We all stood around in costume for a little while we got the opening shots of Dan walking down with the horse.
Got a bit of red light in the background there.
Once we got those shots with the horse, we moved on to the actual fight scene and the acting. The acting took quite a lot of time, as it always does. There's lots of angles, lots of different sides, as well as the factor of the acting being a little inconsistent sometimes.
So, you could have destroyed that nest years ago. But you didn't.
You know there's less and less monsters in the world, Evo. Berlin's rock-fin problem was quite a profitable business for us. Now with the nest gone, you put us in conveniently out of pocket.
Once we were happy with the acting, we decided to move on to the fight scene, which in total took us about 3 hours. We'd already pre-vised and made all the choreo, decided all the angles on this fight, so it pretty much copy-pasted into the location, with the occasional stop for people's choreo, or changing various angles to work a little bit better in the space, hiding modern day aspects, or generally trying to make the shot look a little bit nicer.
One, action!
When it came time to do my stunt, I got out from behind the camera, behind the monitor, and got in front of the camera, already in costume, ready to go, and prepared to perform the stunt. I'm first and foremost a stunt performer, so this for me was actually easier than doing the directing behind the camera. The original idea was for me to do this stunt way before I started the directing phase of this. So I almost added the directing on top of the original stunt. The rig itself is fairly simple for a wire gag. It's called a dead man, or a jumping dead man, as I did. You wear a wire vest underneath your costume, you cut a hole in the costume and connect a static rope or wire to yourself and connect the other end of that rope to something that won't move. So we found some really strong anchor points within the building and use those. Once you're on, you coil up the rope in a certain way so that it won't tangle. You run in a straight line until you run out of rope. This is all really measured out, making sure that I'm going to land on the mats every time. We'll start off with just a little bit of power so that I'm sort of walking into it until I run out of rope and fall over, and then I'll start to jog, and I'll start to run, then I'll run and jump. And that sort of slow build up may take a little bit of time, but it really works for getting confidence, especially on sets like this where we really only have one small crash mat on the concrete floor.
Yeah, 100%, I'm happy with that. Time wasn't better. Oh, really? Do you want me to cheat this way, John?
A little bit, yeah. And I was too close.
Rolling your answer again? Yep, happy to go again.
3, 2, 1, action! Cut!
As soon as the stunt was over as well, I pretty much got untied from the rig, watched the playback, got back behind the camera, still in full costume, and carried on trying to get the directing done.
Action!
In terms of post-production, I was fairly involved. We had various cuts coming through. The first cut being your standard vlog, putting the edit together, getting everything in roughly the right place. Once that had come through and we were happy with that, we started to add sound. We still ungraded at this point. It came to me. I designed the VFX for it, so I put various elements in. Once that was all done, the grade was finally added on top, which just took it from one level to the next, really. Watching it, especially from my perspective, we always knew what the colour grade was going to be. We had these reference shots from the actual series of The Witcher, where you've got these really orange light from the torch, and then you've got this sort of blue tealish tone underneath as well. We knew that we wanted to do that from the start, so actually seeing that on our footage was really cool to see. I was really impressed with the final cut, seeing the shots that were in my head actually put into that space and put into that video. There was a few shots which I would have really liked to get that we just didn't have time for on the day, which I know is always an issue for directors on small shoots. But overall, I was really impressed with what we've made, especially considering the time frame and budget. We posted just the fight scene on Instagram, as it's that short form, it's a little bit quicker paced, and it is our bread and butter really as stunt performers. That's what we want to put out there most. And then the full short, including the acting, was on YouTube. The reel was really well received on Instagram. I think it got about 13,000 views in the first couple of weeks. Lots of attention from industry professionals as well, which we were really happy with. I can say that one person from the shoot has received work directly from this short, so that's pretty exciting to look into in the future too.
Boys, job.
All right, lads.
Boys, well done. Good one.
These guys were actually working as specialists on The Witcher and started making the choreo.